Hey, what's up, guys? So, today I was want to talk about my testimony, but before we begin, make sure you like, subscribe, turn on notifications so that way we'll get up to 4K. I'm expecting to get up there by November, but I don't know the way it's going with these subscriber things. I don't know if it's going to make it or not, so we'll still see, but I don't know about that though. So, I just want to get started with the upcoming videos. Yes, it has something to do with my testimony. Yes, it has something to do with my walk with God, and God is healing me from this condition called autism or disorder, however you want to call it. And it's going to be held in every Sunday of October. So, and that is starting in 3 weeks. It might end probably around early November. Probably like the first or second week of November, I might make the last video about my testimony, or last detail of my testimony. Yes, I'm going into detail, and I'm literally just putting every age that I was and the type of autism that I had in those videos. And yes, I'm going, like I said, I'm going detailed into them. So actually, this is going to start on the 28th of this month, which is another Sunday, and that's when I'm going to be announcing the autism videos, or rather the healing videos, or I don't know, whatever you can call them. But yeah, that is when I'm going to announce them. Starting the 5th of next month, we'll be talking about my autism before therapy, and I was from 18 months to 4 years old. And in this time period, I could not speak because I was nonverbal. On the 12th, we'll be talking about my autism during therapy, which I was around 5 years old. So this is the time I could probably say some phrases or some words that I could say, and some words I couldn't say or don't understand them at the time because of those delays. And I think, let's just say I was like not nonverbal, but like trying to like struggle to talk or something like that, like trying to talk but you're struggle, stuff like that. I wouldn't say nonverbal at 5, because I actually started talking at 4.5. So this is when I really kind of start saying like yes or no, or mom, dad, whoever, stuff like that, you know what I'm saying? During that time, we spent like the whole year that I was supposed to be in kindergarten on ABA therapy. So I was getting help from ABA when I was supposed to be in kindergarten, and that's why I started kindergarten when I was already 6 years old. My autism after therapy will be posted on the 19th, and I was from ages 6 through 11, and let's just say I was considered autistic still. I could talk, but I was still considered autistic because of my behaviors and my social skills at the time. Let me just tell you something. 11 years ago today, when I was 6 years old, I was getting prayed over by an evangelist, and he allowed God to heal me from autism. So the evangelist prayed for me, and then somebody had another grandson that was healed from that same condition that I had. But the thing about it is, it don't happen all of a sudden. Like you go little by little, you know what I'm saying? And that's because that's how like Joshua took the land in like Bible times or whatnot, because that's what my parents told me throughout my childhood. Didn't understand at first, but then now at 17, I'm starting to realize, now I know that. Okay. On the 26th, I'll be talking to you guys about my Asperger's, which I was from 12 to 14 at the time. And the reason why I just consider myself as Asperger's, like, I know how to act at times, but then social cues and social skills were the problem though. Like, I know from right from wrong pretty much, but only except the social skills. That's where I kind of struggled with. Also at the time, I didn't really understand that much jokes because of it, and that's the only two I kind of did struggle with, but nothing else really. Like one time in that time period, somebody told me to eat somebody's biscuit, and they're over there telling me it's a joke, but I probably didn't hear them, or probably didn't rather understand them because of the autism. So I ate the biscuit, and it just did not end up so well. And then on the 2nd of November, that's where I'm going to talk about my ADD and receptive language delay, which it probably occurred around from when I was 15 to 16. So that was basically not that long ago. It's probably like last year or something when I was probably struggling with that. I kind of do feel like I'm still struggling with it, but like probably not as much as I did then, even though that was not really long ago. It's like a year or two ago. You know what I'm saying? At that time, I did feel like I was completely healed from autism at that time. Not at first, because I was barely 15 when I ate someone's biscuit on accident and didn't understand that was a joke, or rather purposely, and didn't understand that was a joke. Also, the doctor did diagnose me with ADD. I do not know why, but he did. But I just don't speak that over me. You know what I'm saying? But then on the 9th, I'll be talking about feeling completely healed from autism at 17. Now, let me just tell you something. I kind of did feel completely healed, like I said, around 15, 16, right? But at 17, I just kind of feel like I'm just free from something that had to deal with my autism and everything. Had to deal with like a disorder that I had and everything. So, but I think I still kind of struggle with like receptive language, even though I kind of do feel. Otherwise, I do feel very healed from autism and everything. Other than that, I do struggle with my receptive language, but that can happen across anyone. It don't have to be autism that's that. It can be like cause from other disorders, or you can just simply have that without having any disorders and stuff like that. Take a look at the bright side. This is my first year without commendations when it comes to school, because last year was my last year with commendations. So that's why I put 15 and 16 and not 17, because I kind of do feel like I am not struggling as much as I did when I was, even a couple years younger. I felt like I still did struggle with autism and stuff like that. I don't know about full-blown autism, but like, you know what I mean? Speaking of my academics, let's go all the way back to preschool. So, I was 3 to 5 when I was going to preschool. I was nonverbal, didn't understand, wasn't aware. I had to point things out to the teacher of what I wanted, and stuff like that. I was 5 years old, and I went to ABA therapy. Now, I was more verbal compared to when I was about 3 or 4 years old at the time, because at 3 and 4 I barely even talked. At 3 and 4 and 5, I think I was saying some phrases at the time and stuff like this, something I said at ABA. When I was from kindergarten to 5th grade, I was in general education, but also have to took SPED too. So I took general education for math, but special ed for ELA. And that's how I did it for 5 years. And then when I got to middle school, the Lord had healed me from SPED, or special education, but I did act like a SPED student though, even after that, because I was still kind of struggling with autism. So yeah. And then I was homeschooled for a couple years, up until the 8th grade. And I was in 8th grade for 2 years. So I was in 8th grade for 1 when I was in homeschool, but I went to an academic school in 8th grade. And I was not struggling with autism as much, but I was still like having receptive language delays and stuff like that, and not understanding jokes. But when I got to my freshman year, as of last year, I was starting to do better. And but I still had commendations and still had a struggle with them. But this year, as of now, I'm doing a whole lot better compared to the past. So therefore, I really do think that God is doing good in my life and everything. And I really think He is healing me from autism. And yeah. So I've been healing for 11 years. Over time, I still did struggle with autism because it does not happen suddenly. It takes it little by little. And I'll get more detail into this in those Sundays that I'll be talking about all these types of stuff that I just talked about, but it's going to be more detailed than what it was. So yeah, other than that, I really hope you guys love the video. If you love the video, please subscribe, turn on notifications, turn on the bell, and I will see y'all guys in the next video. I am out.